welcome to my channel. Well, we have two more BPS knives. These are very interesting. BPS knives continues to amaze me with the different shapes and patterns and sizes of knives they have. Now, oops, let me go get my seat cushion. I want to sit down on this hard thing because I know I'm going to be sitting here for a while. All right. Seat cushion was sitting out on the balcony. It's all nice and warm. All right, so what we have here is this thing's called a mushroom knife. And what's interesting about it, there's several interesting things about it. One is it's a little Scandi grind, nice wide palm swell, fits very well in the handle. But this sheath right here has a button snaps. So I'll put pictures in it of how it can be carried like that, and loops to make it a neck knife. Now, the only minor criticism that I have of this whole system right here is, once again, let's shove the knife in as far as we can go. Right there, right? So if you take that and you put that there, look how much extra you've got of this. Yeah, so I took some different knives. This is the, what do they call this one? The jungle knife or something? It's another little neck knife. But, anyways, it fits in there almost perfect, man. It uses that space. It goes all the way down there. And then we got the little hedgehog. He goes in there really well too. He's like perfect, you know. So you could use the sheath for that also. But this one's more of a little short stubby blade. I guess they call it for, they say you can take it out and put it in your pocket just like this, still protecting the blade. You can put some, they didn't supply anything in with it, but it's pretty easy to do. It's like shoestring or whatever, shoelace stuff. Or you can attach it to your belt. And you can do an appendix carry where, it's like, if it's sitting like this over here, it's like a cross draw carry. Or if you're right-handed, you set it like this and it cants back and it's right hand, like pistol draw or whatever. So, yeah, look at the specifications and everything to it, but it just feels really, it's a nice thick handle, so it's not going to squirrel around in your hand, and it's just very ergonomic. It's just, your hands just like fit right in there. No jimping, which I like. If you're going to do a lot of this stuff, like in pushing and everything, that jimping gets annoying to me. I'm not super pro jimping. Sometimes it's alright, Alright, so we got like 2.5-inch cutting edge, and then the cutting edge goes all the way to the end. It gives you a natural protection right here, a little ramp. You don't have to worry too much about your hand slipping forward on anything. We're not really going to do a pokey stabby test because I'd say it would go about like this far into the coffee can. But, alright, we got that one. This is pretty cool. Like I said, this handle is, I think they call it walnut in their thing. But yeah, it's genuine leather sheath. That's the only thing they do. Sometimes, like I said, I tested with all the other BPS knives that I've got, and none of the other ones would fit in the sheath because it's, just the way it's shaped, the roundness of the handle and everything. All right, now the second one is another neck knife. This one they call the Techno. And it also has a leather sheath, but these reinforcements. Now, you kind of, it's going to take some getting used to, but you got to slide it out past these rivets. These rivets are a good thing to keep you from just cutting the threads on this, you know, because it's going to make sure you got your blade going in straight. You hear that squeakiness? If I put a little oil in there, it's going to work better. This one utilizes the whole part of the sheath fairly well. There's no problem there with that. And there's no having to worry about, you know, a handle or anything. It's just like a very well contoured here, but you got another Scandi grind of another 2.5 inches basically. This one is overall. 6 13/16. You want to get technical. That's probably not 100% accurate. I slipped. Probably 6 3/8 or 17. Are we on centimoids? Yes. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I'll have to weigh just the. I think I've got the things on, but they give you a little, you know, bead type pattern on both sides. And then down here it says, let's look at it. Zoomage. Made in Ukraine. So yeah, nice Scandi grind. This one is some more of that 15 CR, 15 MOV steel, which is not bad. I'm just not going to hold an edge forever. I think it's in the 50s, upper 50s, HRC Rockwell and stuff. But yeah. Now, you know, like that brother knife that I have, it's got a Scandi grind too. It's in D2, which, you know, you would think, oh, that's a much better steel than that 5 CR or whatever. It gets chips. It gets chips along the edge. Now on a Scandi, chips are a big deal because if you want to keep it Scandi, then you're going to have to lay this edge back here probably to match that to keep it a 0 grind. Otherwise, you're going to wind up doing a micro bevel, which, you know, doesn't hurt it, but I like a full Scandi if you can keep it, you know, so I'd rather have an edge roll than chip. Just my personal preference, you know, because you can strop a roll out, just, you know, keep using it, but a chip's going to take a chunk out of the blade, you know, and it depends on how deep it goes. Let me get that one and show you. It's the brother F5 D2. You gotta really look up. I don't know if you can see it. We'll zoom. See those chips? I mean, it's not super bad, but all I was doing was hardwood. I mean, not hardwood, fat wood. Fat wood isn't even hardwood, you know. I mean, it's soft pine and stuff, and all I was doing was just cutting like that. So here's what I was saying, like jimping. Yeah, it holds your hand here, but if you're doing a lot of cutting, it's kind of annoying to me. But the contouring on this and the way it fits is really good. But yeah, just the chipping from wood, you know. So I have tried to straighten this out a little bit. I've run a crock along here and everything, so that's why it doesn't look quite as bad. And it's not super bad. I'm just saying, this is a stronger steel, and you would think if you're just being a steel snob and just saying, hey, D2 is always superior to something like 15, you know, 5 CR. It's not even 8 CR, which everybody poo-poos on. But yeah. Or carbon steel, you know, a lot of people, carbon steel, I don't like it. You know, as long as you take care of the corrosion part of it, it's fine to go. You can even patina it. So yeah, these are cool. Like I said, this handle is different. It's completely different. It just feels, because it swells up here on the end, it just feels so secure in the hand, and your whole, you know, your 4 fingers just fall right in there. And just like a really good up close, you know, like, I don't want to work on this one too much because I jam it in the door. Special piece here, but yeah, you can just, yeah. Because really, when you're doing small detailed work, you're not using a whole lot of the blade. You can have a 5-inch blade sticking out here, or you can have a little 2.5-inch blade and get all the stuff that you need done. I don't want to just say that I would only have a small knife with me all the time and I'd be happy, because I'd always, in the back of my mind, I'd be going, yeah, but I wish I had at least like a 3 or 4-inch backup blade, you know? Not so much to get into a fight with someone, but to, you know, it's just easier a lot of times to cut with a longer blade, you know? For example, just like an apple, you know? If you want to cut an apple in half, yeah, you can do it with a small blade, but you're going to have to rotate around and, you know, do some stuff. With a longer blade, just punk, you know, you're done. You're good to go. You have more reach also. But a smaller blade can be carried on you easily and do most of your cutting tasks. Most of the time, you're just going to be opening up an envelope, cutting a piece of thread, on a little piece of wood. You're not, you know, building a log cabin out in the woods. You're just sitting here, you know, just doing some whittling. This is my form of whittling. I'm not artistic enough to be making animals and creatures and people's faces and all the other things that people have got skill with, you know. But it's still calming, and it's good because you're working with a blade, you know. I mean, you're doing something with a blade. It's almost like knitting with wood, you know, or something. You know, like see old grannies and stuff. They're sitting there and they're knitting, but they're not just knitting. They're making a sweater or some crap that they'll, you know, actually use. With whittling, here, it's more just getting the feel of the knife and how if you push, you know, one way it'll do this, and if you change the angle it'll go deeper, and just how wood is. I don't know. It's just kind of therapeutic. But then, after you do some of that stuff, see, this isn't super hard wood. Like I said, it's pine. I give it the pine test. Also check, see if my nose still works. Yes, it does. All right. Yeah, very cool knife. Sorry, let me get the little bee out here and do some whittling also. So yeah, this you're not getting the support, the hand support, right? But if you're carrying it as a neck knife, it's going to lie flat. It's not going to stick out as much. This probably is rounded in wood. I haven't carried either one of these as a neck knife. Like I said, I just got these in recently. I'm just doing a quick, you know, impressions for you and everything. Like I said, the only small, you know, minor things I could say about it is this thing's going to take just a little bit of probably mineral oil or something like that, because it's sliding in pretty, you know, just work it in a little bit. But other than that, this thing's perfect for, you know, I'm going to put it on my neck right now. It's going to bang the microphone. And it's got a little thing back here that you can put a lanyard on. And you can it's 90 degree, man. You can spark a ferro rod with it. And yeah, so there you go. There's a couple more cool BPS mushroom knife. You know, most mushrooms I ran into, you never needed a knife to harvest them. I don't know. It helps, you know, if you can. Maybe I'll harvest a different kind of mushrooms. My experience with mushrooms was a different kind of mushroom than y'all had, you know, probably. But it's been a long time ago. Wild mushrooms were a different thing back in the 70s. All right, so there you go. There's a little whittling, a little craziness. I don't want this too long because it takes like 2 hours to upload when the video gets over like 2 gigabytes and stuff, or too long. So Thank you for watching and have a nice day.